Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome to another episode on SHARKREALM, as today we have another update involving the new Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection bundle, and Gamescon is happening in full swing right now in Germany, and we recently got a brand new trailer involving the last, I guess, supposedly remaining 2 games to be included in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection bundle. Now, in my previous video, I talked about how there were still potentials and slight rumors and speculations, or even confirmations, that we were getting Mortal Kombat Mythologies Subzero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces, the Jax solo spin-off video game. And those were 2 images that were teased on the screens for those who were attending the Gamescon in Germany. And I kind of shared my thoughts about both of those 2 games, but now it seems like I'm going to dive even deeper, because just not too long ago we've got an official trailer involving the last 2 remaining games that are going to be included in the Legacy Collection bundle. But before we get to that, within the trailer they showcased some more gameplay involving Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Then we have Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Advanced, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for Game Boy Advance, and then we got Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. And then the bottom 2, we had 2 question marks to, decipher what's the last 2 games to be included within this Legacy Collection bundle. So once they finished all of that stuff, what ended up happening was the last 2 games ended up being, as we've talked about in yesterday's video, is in fact Mortal Kombat Mythologies Subzero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Now, there are things I do want to slightly talk about in regards to what the offerings are for these 2 games, because for those who have not played these 2 games by any means, let's talk about Special Forces real quickly. So this is basically a Jax spin-off video game, which was supposedly be like the counterpart to Mythology Sub-Zero, but not really. But it dived deeper into the lore of Mortal Kombat, involving Jax, the Special Forces, Sonya Blade, Kano, the Red Dragon, the Black Dragon, and all these other cool characters that did not get the light of day into the Mortal Kombat lore. And I kind of forgot the names at the moment, but they're basically the end bosses for certain levels, and those are like newly created Mortal Kombat characters, so we never really saw them in other games moving forward. But that game, it has a lot of flaws. It's not the greatest Mortal Kombat game by any means, but it has potential. I've played it, I've beaten it, and there are some cryptic elements to the game, and you do play as Jax, and you can kind of just find your way through mazes and cryptic things to figure out. There's one level in the parking lot where you have to figure out which car has, or how to get out of the garage by using the code, and it's just stuff you got to figure out on your own. And there's a maze later on where you have to push walls to figure out which lever takes you to what area, and then there's also death traps, etc., etc. So the game isn't particularly hard. It's just one of those where do I go, what do I do type of games, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I have no issues with Special Forces, even though again it's not going to give you that Mortal Kombat satisfaction, but at the end of the day it is a pretty cool Mortal Kombat game, in the sense of if you want something completely different and new and more an overhead view rather than the 2D side-scrolling style action. Now, when it comes to Mythology Sub-Zero, that's another game that I have played, but we know for those who have played it, it is a really, really hard game. It is unacceptable. The AI is complete bullshit. However, it's one of those games where whatever you knew about previous Mortal Kombat games, you kind of throw it out the window in the sense of the controls. The controls are very bad in this game. You have to hit R2 and L2 to kind of move left and right. It doesn't manually do it or automatically do it. But the lore for this game is really awesome because it supposedly takes place before the first Mortal Kombat game, roughly, and it showcases the origins, roughly, of Subzero and how he's trying to aid Quan Chi into getting into amulets, and kind of like the prelude to the tournament, which is really awesome. Now, we know, again, for those who have played it, that it is extremely difficult, and it does give you that Mortal Kombat feel. The music is amazing. The graphics, it's PlayStation 1 or N64, so it's not really like I mean, it's good for that time. One of the things that's a new feature for this Mortal Kombat Mythologies Subzero game is that it actually has a rewind feature. Now, that's one of the things I kind of want to nitpick on, solely because the rewind feature kind of takes away from the aesthetic of Mortal Kombat, in the sense of, I understand that this game is really hard, and I understand that gamers don't really have the patience to get through certain levels, and I myself, I can barely get past level 3 because the controllers are just hard to adjust to. However, the fact that they're giving you a rewind feature is cool, because for those that just want to get through the game and see what's beyond levels that they can't complete. But that kind of takes away the fun from it, just because as a Mortal Kombat gamer, it's always good to kind of get your ass kicked in the game and figure out how to defeat certain characters or end bosses, and that's what makes you a gamer. The rewind feature is a great gimmick to allow gamers to get further and pass, and just retry certain levels if they keep dying, because you will die a lot in this game. There is no denying about it. But I just think it's a little bit it's really good that they're adding it, but it's also it sucks because now people are going to be able to beat the game without having that ability to be the frustration of man, I just lost all 5 or 7 lives and I have to go back to the start. And that's what makes these games exciting, in the sense it makes it fun in the sense of shit, now I got to start all over. But instead you can hit the rewind feature, and it kind of defeats the purpose of gaming. But again, I'm not nitpicking too hard on it. I just think that feature is good and bad at the same time. So but I personally will try to play this game without the rewind feature, and yeah, so I think that's cool. But so these are the last 2 games that are included, and unfortunately there's no word or indication on Mortal Kombat Gold for the Sega Dreamcast. So I think that's kind of sad, because that would have been a great addition to this collection. Maybe we could get an update in the future, but I'm not sure if that's even something that's possible. But I will say, when it comes to other features within this particular Legacy Collection bundle, we do have character biographies, we have the history and behind the scenes, we have the fatality trainer, we have rollback netcode, we have filters scan lines for CRT TVs if you want to have that super old school style, and then we have this thing called WaveNet, which is supposedly it's part of Mortal Kombat Trilogy, where it was an online version that we really haven't seen the light of day for since then. And I believe there was you were allowed to play as Noob Saibot in there. I'm not too sure, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But the big highlight for me here is the character biographies, and the really awesome thing about this is that depending on what game you are playing, you can scroll through on the bottom, and then the character roster and selection screens kind of switches, and the character models and the character art also changes as well, so you know which game biographies you're looking at. So I think that's really awesome. And we can see here we have some rosters here with some Mortal Kombat logos, and which means that we have to unlock a few things here and there. But yeah, as you can see here, we have a mix and match of different character bios from different games. We have Reiko from Mortal Kombat 4, then we have Baraka from Mortal Kombat 2, and then we have probably Motaro from Mortal Kombat 3. So it's a whole wide range, but again, if you're switching through the different games, then the character selection screen changes left and right, and it tells you. So I think this is basically all characters, and then if you're scrolling through the right, you'll see them disappearing as you get to certain other games, whereas, you know, Mortal Kombat 1 was more like 7 characters, etc., etc. So I thought that was really cool. I mean, this is one of those things where it helps you understand the lore of Mortal Kombat and just how beautiful and awesome it is. And of course, you know, you get enhanced graphics, better there's all these other perks that can be included in the games as well, but this is one of those things that I'm really excited for. And nothing says to me Mortal Kombat more than, you know, unlocking characters and then reading their bios and learning more about them. So that's what makes it completely fun for me. Other than that, again, unfortunately, no Mortal Kombat Gold has been included on here, so that's kind of unfortunate, but maybe in the future we could get something about that. I'm not sure. Maybe they're saving it for something else. I'm kind of split in between of pre-ordering this, because you have till August 31st, which at the time of making this video is August 21st, so we have about 10 days. I'm torn if I want to pre-order it or not, because if I know Mortal Kombat, if I know how these games operate, there's always some type of perk that happens afterwards, you know. And I feel like when you people have like that FOMO of getting something and then like a year or two later they add some new stuff to it. So I know that's kind of like a stretch for me, but I don't know, like I kind of want to get this, but I also don't, in the sense of I feel like I might get screwed over later on down the line. But otherwise, for those people who have been wanting to play these games on modern consoles, like Xbox X or even PlayStation 5, that's really cool. I gotta figure out how to get a PlayStation 5 at the moment, because I don't have one. I'm still stuck on PlayStation 4, which is still a great working console. So it's just unfortunate that we don't have a PS4 version of this, which I understand, because we are heading into the new era of consoles, but at the end it's still fine. So with that being said, yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about this situation in terms of these two last games added. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel, and thank you for supporting the channel. Again, I know my channel is relatively small, but as a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, hopefully I can create a cool fan base within this channel. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.